a full-frame cosmic-style scene without any borders, decorations, or ornamental framing. The image should be painted in the style of a late 20th century celestial artwork, using slightly flattened perspective and hand-painted brush textures. Avoid illuminated manuscript layouts or frames. Use aged, starlight-toned lighting with cosmic colors like faded blues, silver, deep indigo, and black. The overall look should feel cinematic, timeless, and handcrafted, as if it has a realistic frame from an old historical film or storybook brought to life. Scene opens with a soft, ambient hum and the faint crackle of an old radio transmission. The visuals are dreamy and painterly, showing a star-filled void. A gentle, fatherly voice begins to narrate. "Close your eyes now, little one, and let the stars be your guide. Tonight, we journey back in time, not through forests or over mountains, but across the vast, silent sea of space. We travel to a moment when the world held its breath, a time when a great silver ship, a vessel named Apollo, prepared for the grandest adventure humanity had ever known. Imagine a giant, gleaming spire pointing towards the heavens, cradled by a tower of steel under the warm Florida sun. This was the Saturn V rocket, a testament to dreams built from metal, wire, and an unshakable belief in the possible. On a warm July morning, with the world watching on flickering television screens, a great rumble began, a sound that was more felt than heard. It was the sound of a promise being kept, the roar of a giant awakening. With a plume of fire and steam that billowed like a great cloud, the rocket pushed against the earth, slowly at first, then with unstoppable force, climbing higher and higher into the bright blue sky. It carried 3 brave souls, 3 explorers destined to leave their world behind, all to touch another. They were on a voyage to the moon, our silent, watchful companion in the night sky. This was America's giant leap, a story whispered on the starlight, a testament to courage and curiosity that would be etched into the memory of the cosmos forever. The rocket ascended, a tiny silver needle against the endless canvas of the sky, carrying the hopes of all who dared to look up and wonder. As the mighty rocket shed its earthly bonds, the world below grew smaller, a shrinking marble of blue and white. The astronauts, nestled in their small capsule, watched as continents and oceans resolved into a single, breathtaking sphere. They were travelers in an uncharted ocean, and their destination was that familiar, luminous pearl that had graced our night sky since the dawn of time. For days, they journeyed through the silent, stardusted blackness. Outside their window, the universe unfolded in a spectacle of quiet majesty. The sun, unfiltered by any atmosphere, blazed with a pure, white intensity, and the stars, no longer twinkling, shone as steady, brilliant points of light in the unending void. They were adrift in the cosmic river, their small craft, a tiny seed of life in the vast, sterile emptiness of space. Bygone families gathered around their radios and televisions, their hearts beating in time with the mission reports crackling through the speakers. Every maneuver, every course correction was a moment of shared suspense and hope. The world was united in this singular focus, a global community bound together by the journey of 3 men sailing toward the moon. The astronauts spoke of the profound silence, a quiet so deep it was almost a sound in itself, broken only by the hum of their life support systems and the calm, steady voices from mission control, a lifeline stretching across 250,000 miles of nothingness. They were pioneers in the truest sense, charting a course where no human had gone before, their every heartbeat a note in the grand symphony of exploration. Then came the moment. After orbiting the moon, a smaller craft, the lunar module named Eagle, detached from the command module. It was a fragile, spindly vessel, designed for one purpose only: to land on the lunar surface. It looked almost like an insect crafted from gold and silver foil, an unlikely chariot for such a momentous descent. As it began its powered descent, the gray, cratered landscape of the moon rushed up to meet it. Craters, mountains, and vast, dusty plains, once distant and mysterious, were now real, tangible terrain below. The commander's voice, steady but laced with the intensity of the moment, called out altitudes and velocities. The world listened, breathless, as the eagle navigated over a field of boulders, searching for a safe harbor. Dust, ancient and undisturbed for billions of years, was kicked up by the engine's thrust, creating a golden, swirling cloud. And then, with a gentleness that defied the incredible power and risk involved, the eagle touched down. A voice, clear and historic, crackled across the void. The eagle has landed. A wave of relief and pure, unadulterated joy swept across the earth. For the first time in history, humanity had a foothold on another world. The crew had arrived at Tranquility Base. They had sailed the sea of stars and found their port, a quiet, gray haven under a black sky. The dream, nurtured for centuries by poets, scientists, and stargazers, had become a reality. A few hours later, the hatch of the lunar module swung open, revealing a ladder descending into the profound blackness of space. And then, a figure in a bulky white suit emerged, carefully making his way down the steps. Every movement was deliberate, slow, and watched by hundreds of millions of people. As his boot pressed into the fine, gray dust, he spoke words that would be remembered forever. That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. He stood on the surface of the moon, a solitary human figure in a landscape of magnificent desolation. Soon, he was joined by the second astronaut, and together, they explored this new frontier. They moved with a strange, bouncing grace in the low gravity. Their footprints, the first marks ever made on this ancient world. They planted a flag, a symbol of the nation and the people who had sent them there. A splash of color against the monochromatic vista. It was a powerful, silent statement of achievement, a testament to what could be accomplished when people dared to dream on a scale as grand as the cosmos itself. But perhaps the most profound moment of their journey was when they turned their gaze away from the lunar surface and looked back. There, suspended in the black star-dusted velvet of space, was their home. It was a sight no human had ever witnessed from such a vantage point. Earth, a grand oasis in the big vastness of space, as one of them would later describe it. It was a swirl of brilliant white clouds over deep blue oceans, with continents of brown and green peeking through. There were no borders, no divisions, no signs of the conflicts and struggles that defined life on its surface. It was just one whole, beautiful, and fragile sphere, radiating a gentle, blue light. To see our world from so far away was a humbling, transformative experience. They saw it not as a collection of countries, but as a single, shared home. A precious and delicate island of life, floating in the immense, silent emptiness. This view, this Earthrise, became one of the most powerful images in human history. It shifted our perspective, reminding us of our shared destiny and the profound beauty of the planet we all inhabit. It was a silent sermon from the heavens, a message of unity and fragility sent back to us from our own emissaries. Seeing the Earth hanging in the void like a delicate Christmas ornament gave them, and all of us, a new appreciation for our place in the universe. It was a moment of cosmic awe, a realization that everything we have, everything we are, is on that one tiny, blue marble. As their time on the moon came to an end, they packed samples of moon rocks and dust, souvenirs from another world, to bring back to the scientists and dreamers on Earth. They left behind their footprints, the flag, and a plaque that read, "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon. July 1969, AD. We came in peace for all mankind." With a final look at the stark, beautiful landscape, they climbed back into the Eagle. The ascent engine fired, lifting them off the surface to rejoin their companion in orbit. Their journey home began, another long, silent passage through the stars. They had touched the moon, but in a way, the moon had touched them more deeply, changing their perspective forever. They returned not just as heroes or explorers, but as messengers, carrying a new understanding of our world and our place within the cosmos. They splashed down in the Pacific Ocean, their tiny capsule, a seed returning to the waters from which all life on Earth began. They brought back with them the dust of another world and a vision that would inspire generations. So, as you drift off to sleep, little dreamer, Remember this story. Remember the courage of those who journeyed into the unknown, and the wonder they felt when they looked back at our beautiful, shining home. The universe is vast and full of wonders waiting to be discovered. The stars you see twinkling in the night sky are not just distant fires. They are destinations. They are invitations to dream, to explore, and to reach for things that seem impossible. Let your dreams be as big as the cosmos, as bold as a voyage to the moon. Let your curiosity be your rocket and your courage be your guide. The story of the Starlight Voyage is not just a tale from the past. It is a promise for your future. It is a reminder that no dream is too big, no star is too far. It whispers to you on the gentle night breeze that you are capable of giant leaps. The same spirit of adventure that carried humanity to the moon lives on in you. So close your eyes, breathe deep, and let your own journey begin. Who knows what new worlds you will discover in your dreams tonight? The cosmos is waiting. Sleep now, little explorer. Sleep now. The overall look should feel cinematic, timeless, and handcrafted, as if it has a realistic frame from an old historical film or storybook brought to life.